Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/citizenho. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Hello there. Hola. And welcome to your favorite podcast that we never record anymore.
Well, once a month.
We're going to try to do it once a month in person, we'll try to go twice a month. Once a month in person, once a month remote. Kevin doesn't like doing remote. He feels it lacks some gusto.
Sure, gusto. That's what we'll call it. Gusto.
So, when was our last episode?
About a month ago. Actually, a little more than a month ago.
It was right after
mid-February.
It was mid-February. Let's take a look. Oh, that's not wrong app.
Yeah, it was right after Parkland.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because we had to discuss guns again. And ironically enough, we were recording this one on the day of the March for Life.
It was 29 days ago, actually, it went up. It went up a little late last. It went up on the 22nd.
Yes, okay. Understood.
So, today I went to a march in the whitest city known to man, Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, sure. Maybe they want you to think it's white.
It's actually, there's some pretty buildings there. It's nice. They're trying to gentrify it up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure there are some nice buildings. I'm sure when it was hit at the time it was built, there was good building design.
Yeah,
so
well, that's better.
We'll see.
So
time will tell what happens with Newark.
If I had the money, I think I would invest in Newark right now.
Okay.
Buy something cheap with a chance of a high sell. Are you really wearing that T-shirt?
Yes, you've seen me wear this before.
Recently?
And yes, within the past 5 years.
Okay, so Kevin's wearing this T-shirt for the Long Island Fight for Charity. Basically, we got these T-shirts because we volunteered to. I don't remember what we did. We moved chairs.
Yeah, basically, we set
up
up
an event
chairs.
My dad was running.
Was he running it, or was he?
He was one of the sponsors of it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Basically, we were trying to go there to network and get jobs, and it didn't work out.
Yes, because we're terrible at those things.
That had to be in 2002.
Yeah, basically. That's pretty much exactly when it was.
We're old.
Yes. That was 16 years ago.
It was before.
And I feel like it was around this time of year too. Wasn't it March, April-ish?
I don't know. Stand up. Turn around. Is there a date on the back?
Well, I don't know.
Without knocking me. Nah.
Oh, darn.
I think you were right. Because I think it was at the Hilton on Long Island.
Yes.
And I think there was snow, and the parking sucked that day because of it.
Quite possibly.
So what's been going on in your boring life in the last month?
Let's see. My son is obsessed with all kinds of wonderful TV.
Ooh, do tell.
Oh, well, there's of course Thomas and Friends, which, lots of little boys love. The thing is that we got a Roku for Hanukkah, so... For you or for him? It was for me, but I got it. The reason I got it was largely for him anyway. Yeah, the thing about it is, so obviously you go in and you install these different Roku channels. So I got so there's a channel for Nick Jr. and I also installed a channel for PBS Kids, thinking that and I think I went looking on there for Thomas and Friends once, thinking I could show it to him, and I look around and there's no Thomas and Friends on here. I was kind of surprised, but I was like, okay, I guess they didn't include it. Who knows why, but whatever. Then about a month ago, we were on the Nick Jr. channel because, he likes Paw Patrol, but we'll get to that. And I see something on there that Thomas and Friends is on Nick Jr. And then I looked it up, and apparently Mattel owns the right to Thomas and Friends, and they made a deal with Nickelodeon to start airing it on Nick Jr. So actually just, not this past week, but the week before, I think was the first week that it actually aired on TV. Oh. So now they're starting to put new episodes on the Roku channel.
Are they putting the older episodes up too?
No, but you can I can access those on Amazon because I use my mom's Amazon Prime account on it.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of the old stop motion animation stuff on there. Anyway, Yeah, they put on this like one special episode called "The Adventure Begins." That it tells the story of when Thomas first came to the island of Sodor. We've had. Is
that like the Isle of Mordor?
No. Oh. Yeah, my son just loves watching it, so we've probably watched that same episode like, I don't know, 30 times at least. But that's not.
That's what got him at cell phones for.
That's not nearly as bad as the thing with Paw Patrol, because there's also one episode of Paw Patrol that he's obsessed with and insists on watching every time. So, and it's the most ridiculous premise or ridiculous storyline I've ever heard of. Let's start with just the whole premise of Paw Patrol, which is that there's a kid who's somewhere in the range of 10 years old, who is also some kind of amateur inventor, who has somehow managed to build this rather large station, or this rather large building that's like his lookout post, and build in all kinds of technology, and somehow train this group of 6 puppies.
Anthropomorphic puppies.
No, they're not anthropomorphic. They're just puppies.
But they speak English.
That's it. They're not anthropomorphic. They just speak English. Yeah, he somehow trained a group of 6 puppies to operate these specially equipped vehicles for all of them to basically do these random things to help the people out of the town they live in, which is called Adventure Bay. And like he's on speed dial for like the mayor of the cities, and anytime anybody's in trouble or in danger, the Paw Patrol comes to help.
It sounds like the mayor's a pedophile.
No,
I think so.
But so I for the sake of a kids show, I can suspend disbelief for that. Yes, it's ridiculous, but it's a kids show, so I can understand.
We watch kids shows about far-off civilizations where a guy defeated a guy whose head was a giant skull wearing loincloth.
Yeah, see? Suspension of disbelief. Anyway.
We're shitty at animation.
Then there's complete and utter ridiculous bullshit nonsense, which is what this episode is that my son loves. I can't believe I'm even explaining this. The episode starts with a bunch of the puppies on a beach, and they say, "Oh, the mer-moon is rising." You want to know what the mer-moon means?
Not really, but I think you're going to tell me anyway.
Oh, you're going to hear it. The mer-moon means that the Mer-Pups are coming. Yes. Dogs with fishtails who live underwater.
Maybe you should explain to Max that this episode was taken off of On Demand.
No, because he sees it there. And then he points to it and says, "No, purple episode." So, yeah, the Mer-Pups are coming. And when the Mer-Pups come, they can go to the Paw Patrol pups and just touch noses, and boom! The Paw Patrol pups can become Mer-Pups. And they can go visit them, and they can go swim with the Mer-Pups underwater.
So basically the dogs are kind of fucking.
Maybe. I don't know.
Eskimo fucking.
I don't want to know. And in this particular episode...
Are the Mer-Pups like equally, like... I know there's like a white dog. Is there like a... Does he have like an equivalent Mer-Pup? Or
No, it's not like an equivalent at all.
Okay.
So... The Mer-Pups in this episode take them to their home, which is the city of Poplantis.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I shit you not.
You flunked Flake.
And the city of Poplantis is powered by this room full of magic pearls. However, the magic pearls consistently expire all the time. However, that's okay, because when a magic pearl expires, the giant magic oyster shell in the middle of the room pops open and a new pearl comes out and goes into the slot vacated by the last one, or by the one that last expired. Then there's some kid pirate who goes around with also a puppy sidekick named Arby.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Yes, vaguely. And he just loves collecting things, anything. As an example, he has like an entire box full of cameras. He has a huge pile of beach balls and every other stupid thing you can get. And his name is, I think, Buccaneer Sid or something like that. Sid sends Arby because he wants to go get a pearl. But then when he finds the giant oyster shell, he wants the giant oyster shell. Him and Arby steal the oyster shell, which causes the city of Puplantis to start falling apart. So then the Paw Patrol pups have to go and get the shell back so that they can save Puplantis.
Do they save it?
Well, of course they do. Duh.
How do they become regular pups again? They touch noses?
The Mer-Pups touch their noses again.
So is it kind of like nose to nose, or is it paw to nose?
No, it's nose to nose.
Okay. Not nose to paw.
Yeah, like just Mer-Pups. It just like really they had to like why? It's just painful.
And he loves it?
He loves that episode. Anytime he says he wants to watch Paw Patrol, I try and get him to put on a different episode. No, Purple Show.
Oh, you can buy toys of the Mer-Pups.
Of course you can.
No, and I'm getting Max for his birthday.
No, you're not. You son of a bitch.
It's a bath assortment for the Mer-Pups.
I don't care. I have enough Mer-Pups in my life. I don't need any more.
Do you ever have nightmares of Mer-Pups chasing you?
Not yet. Notice I said not yet. Yeah. It probably will happen.
Max never lets you choose a different one?
Not really, no. I think once in a while he's gone to another one. In fact, like I think because after an episode ends, it automatically just goes to another one. Hence the term binge watching. And at one point, it went to it. It was a different episode with the same villain, that Buccaneer Sid or whatever the hell his name is. And I walked out because my wife was sitting there with him watching it, and I was like, "Oh, it's Sid." And I just assumed, "Oh, it's the Mer-Pup episode again." And I watched it. I was like, "Wait a minute, this is something different," but it's still Sid. So I asked my wife. I was like, "Is this the same episode?" "No, it's a different one, but just also with Sid."
Does she hate it as much as you do?
I think she's sick of it as much as I am. We haven't really had the whole discussion about how ridiculous the premise of that one is.
Okay, was your loathing for it apparent initially, or as time grew on, overseeing it repeatedly?
No, it grew over time because, if I had to watch it once or, on occasion, all right, fine, even though it's dumb. But the fact that that's the only episode he ever wants to watch.
I don't know, I feel like
at some point they're going to pull it. They're going to pull it off of the Roku channel, and he's not going to be able to see it again. But
yeah. I feel like our shows were better. I hear they're bringing Muppet Babies back.
They are. My son is obsessed with the little preview videos that are on the Disney Junior Roku channel.
That's good. Hope for you.
Yeah, I mean,
I heard
okay.
they replaced Skeeter, I think.
No, they didn't replace. There's no Skeeter. There's no Rolf.
And they added someone else.
And they added this new character named Summer, I think she's a penguin or something, and she likes to draw.
They got rid of Rolf. Rolf's the original Muppet.
So Skeeter.
No, Skeeter was never in the Muppets.
Yeah, he is.
No, Scooter's in the Muppets.
Oh, sorry, Scooter.
No, but Ralph was the original Muppet.
No, Kermit was the original.
No, Ralph was before Kermit.
I'm not so sure about
that.
Yeah, I went to the Jim Henson exhibit at the Museum of
Ralph was the first.
Whatever the hell it is.
Ralph was the first Muppet ever made. Then he made Kermit, and that's when it became big.
No, because I saw he made Kermit for some TV commercial initially in the really early '60s.
Trust me, Ralph was first.
Okay, whatever.
I don't know. I heard the new voice, and I just didn't like it as much as Whitmire.
I don't know. It didn't bother me.
Mm.
In fact, I told you this. I think that the new voice sounds a little bit more like Henson than Whitmire did. Whitmire's voice was not higher pitched, but it was like Henson's voice was much deeper.
Hi-yo. I'm Kermit the Frog. Hi-yo.
Yeah. Henson's voice for Kermit was much deeper than Whitmire's, and I remember picking up on that the first time I heard it in the early '90s.
You still say the saddest thing I ever saw was the Muppets singing goodbye to Jim Henson.
Yeah. I still haven't seen that, but
it's on YouTube.
I know.
They break out the song singing Just One Person, and then Kermit goes, "That was the best tribute you could have done. Now let's go do something crazy."
Okay, then.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows?
Actually, ironically,
What's
there's
on the other
Sesame
side?
Street Hat did this song with Ernie. That's actually really kind of sweet. It's all about like looking at things out in the world and wondering about like where they come from and stuff.
Like, that's a cloud. Why is it a cloud? Where does a cloud come from?
Sort of.
I'm sure it was sang better on tune.
Search for if you could probably find it on YouTube if you search for Ernie and I Wonder.
I wonder.
Not quite.
Why? So yeah, I think people will turn this off if I keep singing. So I probably should stop.
If they haven't turned it off already.
Touché.
I could say come back, but it's a podcast. They're gone.
Please come back. If you come back, I promise never to sing again.
You'll have to post that on social media.
Yeah, so going to Florida on Wednesday.
Yay. Enjoy the humidity.
This time of year, it's not that bad. No, it's like when you get to like July and August, it gets bad.
Oh, no. I remember getting off a plane down there in January once, and it was horrible.
Oh, you're like an old woman.
No, if I was an old woman, I'd like it down there.
No, it doesn't bother me. I'll probably have an allergy attack. I'm trying to think. My mom won't go see Star Wars with my dad, so it comes out on Blu-ray this week, but it's still playing in like the theater by there. So I'm debating if I should buy it and watch it in the apartment, or take him to see it in the theater.
Get him out.
Yeah.
Not that he ever goes out, but
he goes out more than he did.
Okay, well, it's a step in the right direction, I guess.
Hey, good pun.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. So my dad's 75th birthday is Sunday, so I wanted my niece and nephew to get him an air horn as a birthday gift. My sister didn't find it funny. For those who don't know, my mother kind of knocked my dad over with the car a couple months ago, and he's still recovering. So I thought an air horn, that way when he's walking behind her, he could let her know.
Yes. Didn't you already get him that cane with the horn on it?
Yeah, I don't even know. I think that's
that was like for his 60th birthday or 50th. His 50th.
That was 25 years ago.
Oh, God.
Shit. We made him think it was Big Bertha, the golf club. And we wrapped it so it looked like it was pretty good.
Really?
Because the horn, you remember it, like the lights stuck out on the top, so we kind of wrapped it so that wrapped around like...
So he thought he was getting a golf club?
Oh, yeah.
So, in other words, he opened it up and said, "What is this piece of shit?"
The bit is the exact term.
I know your dad well.
So, yeah, we'll be down there. We're going Wednesday and we're coming back Easter Sunday.
Ooh, fun.
So we have to be back at work on Monday. Yay.
Yay. Well,
I only have to take
that's what you get for traveling home on a Sunday.
We have. I think we land at like 10 o'clock, 11. I think we have like a 7:30 flight coming back. Not bad.
Well, then again, every time I've gone there to visit my in-laws, we've always flown back, and then the next day I've gone to work. But then again, we catch earlier flights back. So.
Yeah. Well, I try to do
it
home
by like 9, 10 o'clock.
Well, I don't. I only live 15 minutes from the airport. Don't forget.
True.
You're a little further.
Yes, and you don't have a little one to worry about.
I was about to say, Newark might be the easiest one for you to get to from here.
Maybe it's not that bad to get to JFK. LaGuardia is really easy.
Yeah, LaGuardia, well, depending on traffic, to any of them.
Well, yeah, but
LaGuardia, you just take Triborough and you're there.
Yeah, basically. Or if I had to, I could take the Whitestone Bridge and double back a little bit. Yeah. It's not that far from there either.
Kennedy, you could take the Whitestone and go right down the Van Wyck.
Yes. Precisely.
But that Van Wyck can suck.
Yes, it can. But when I used to go to pick up my parents, if I had to pick them up at Kennedy, I used to drive out of Manhattan and go down the Van Wyck.
Newark, I don't know how it could take us out. There's 3 ways to get to it from us that I know of.
Yeah, the one thing about Newark is just sometimes getting in and out of there is a huge pain in the ass.
You mean on a plane?
On a plane and in a car.
Yeah, they're not designed very well.
No.
And I don't like flying United, so...
Well, then that's a problem.
I have been there 8 years.
They practically own Newark.
I haven't flown United once in the 8 years we've lived in Jersey.
Good for you.
I usually do JetBlue.
That's one reason why I usually end up flying out of JFK is because I take JetBlue.
Well, we're taking Southwest because I got a better rate this time, and Southwest flies direct. Yeah. Well, they don't go to West Palm from me.
Yeah, where do they go to Lauderdale?
They go to Fort Lauderdale direct.
Okay.
I'm paying like I think it was $400 round trip for the two of us for this trip.
Okay.
Total, not each.
Not bad.
Yeah. Well, because I don't have to worry about a school system. I was able to leave a couple of days early.
Yeah. Well, that always.
I'm off on Friday. Marissa's taking off. Work to do.
Fun. No, we will both be off and out in Long Island on Friday. We're trying to get out semi early on Thursday so that we can have dinner and then go back to the house and search for chametz.
So, are you going to pick up Max, pick Melissa up, and go?
No, I'm not. Melissa's going to come up here because if I pick her up in the city, then I have to beat my way out of the city right at 4:00, right as rush hour is ramping up. By the time I get out of Manhattan, it's going to be 5, and then I have to beat my way all the way through Queens.
Oh, she's getting out early on Thursday?
She's getting out. She's going to work early and getting out early on Thursday. So the plan is she's going to come up here. She'll get up here at 5, and then I can cut out through here, and then I bypass the Queens traffic.
What do you take to Long Island? Do you go Mashalou to Bronx?
I go Mashalou to Bronx River to Cross Bronx and then out on the Frogs.
That way you're only on the Cross Bronx for 2 miles.
Yeah, and that segment of the Cross Bronx usually isn't bad.
It usually, right when you hit the overpass is when it usually starts getting bad. Where the upper lot, where it branches off of the Bronx River.
It's usually right around the Bronx River where it starts getting bad. So I get off just before that. Sometimes there's a little bit of traffic leading into the exit for the Bronx River, but that's generally the worst.
As we were driving here today, we're recording from our Canada studio today.
Only if you ask my mother-in-law.
As we were driving here today, I noticed a couple of things. One is, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that monstrosity by the Meadowlands.
Oh, they've been working on it again, right?
Yeah, I think they're trying to open it.
Yeah, they are.
I still think it's a bad idea and they should just turn it into a parking lot.
It was a parking lot.
It should become one again. And you can't even see the Brendan Byrne Arena anymore. It's still there.
So? It's not called the Brendan Byrne Arena either. I don't know what it's called. I think right now it's just called the Meadowlands Arena. But last name we had was the Izod Center.
Yeah. Let's see what it comes up with.
But it was a shitty arena. So.
Yeah, I know. That's where the Devils left.
Yes. And the Nets.
What is Meadowlands Arena? Is an indoor venue. I think it's currently vacant.
Yeah. They don't do it. They closed it.
Yeah. I don't know why they haven't torn it down yet.
I don't know. Maybe they're still hoping that they can find somebody to manage it or something. Or they're still just trying to figure out what to do with it. The only thing that I ever went to in that arena was a Disney on Ice show that we took my niece and nephew to a couple of years ago.
I think I saw a Devils game there.
All I remember was I walked in there and I was like, okay, this place sucks. It kind of reminded me of being at Nassau Coliseum.
Mm.
It was like just that same plain just.
Well, now the Islanders are moving back. No, they're moving to Belmont, right?
Area? Yeah, it's back to Nassau County, just a different part of Nassau County. Instead of being in dead center of Nassau County, they'll just be basically at the Queens border.
But there's a train access there, right?
Yeah, there's a train station there, but it's like this weird little spur line. I think they might be trying to do some
go to Jamaica and back.
Well, they want to do some kind of construction on it so that they can make better use of it. I know they at least they used to run trains there for the Belmont Stakes. I don't know if they
kind of like what they do in the Meadowlands when they only use that station when there's a concert.
Yeah, but also I think the station. I think there's only one actual elevated train platform there. Mm-hmm. Because it was originally built before the Long Island Railroad really needed them, and you could step down off the train onto the ground.
Like they do in Jersey.
Yeah. But then they now all the trains for the railroad you have to get off on an elevated platform, and they only have only two tracks can work with an elevated platform.
In Jersey, they have these doors that open fully now, so for a non-elevated platform.
Yes, basically you can either get off at the platform level or you go down a couple of steps, and then you can take out the lower door.
Makes plenty of sense. Well, Jersey Transit actually has been slightly better. Murphy got extra leased cars from Maryland or something like that. So because of overcrowding, they made some deal with like the Maryland Transit Authority or something like that.
Okay.
So I've been getting a seat every day lately.
But probably in some weird looking train cars.
Well, I'm in an old train because I go to Hoboken. Okay. I never get a double decker.
Oh.
What are you doing, Dave?
I was looking at an email that showed up in my inbox, but it's not terribly important.
And then I noticed, okay, it looks like there's going to be 3 buildings in Manhattan taller than the Empire State Building.
Okay.
There's the World Trade Center, which is the tallest building in New York City. There's this residential building in like the 50s that's taller. Now it looks like they're building another one and it looks closer.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like it takes away from I like seeing the Empire State as the tallest building in Midtown Manhattan. I think it takes away from it by it not being it.
Hey. Progress.
I
mean, the Empire State Building certainly has a certain level of style that the other buildings
they're not doing Art Deco anymore or anything.
No.
Or is that considered Gothic?
No, it's Art Deco. That's very, very Art Deco.
I don't know. All I remember about all this architecture is that stupid architecture cruise we took in.
That was in Chicago.
That was actually interesting, though.
It was. I like that crap.
A lot of money for what it was.
But then again, growing up in a contractor family, you pick up on those things.
Well, Chicago has beautiful architecture.
Yes, it does. We highly recommend Chicago architecture tours.
Yep.
The only reason we took that is because my wife insisted on it.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And she was right. At least on that one. What are you doing?
I'm looking this up. 432 Park Avenue.
Okay.
Taller. That's that new residential building. Bank of
As
America.
my son might say, I sleepy.
Me too.
Yeah.
But he's moodier than you when he says it.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes. You know what helps to deal with moody kids?
Books.
Paying the bills. Go to www.
Also Benadryl.
Yeah, maybe. Go to www.audibletrial.com/citizenho, where you can sign up for a free 30-day trial account and get a free audiobook download. There are thousands upon thousands of titles to choose from, such as
Presto! How I Made Over 100 Pounds Disappear and Other Magical Tales by Penn Jillette. Narrated by Penn Jillette.
So that's why he looks all saggy lately.
Yeah, well, Kevin Smith had a heart attack recently, and he read this book, and he's working on the same diet that Penn Jillette did to lose weight.
Okay.
I'm doing Weight Watchers. I'm down 15 pounds on the year.
Mazel tov.
Blessing on my head.
Mazel tov, mazel tov. Now I'm gonna want to watch that at some point.
To see my daughter wed.
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Such a son-in-law, like no one's ever saw. The tailor model comes oil. Okay, and then we're done with...
Thankfully.
Antique musicals of the 19th century.
No, that isn't. Didn't that come out in the 20th century?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it did. It was based on maybe a 19th century old Yiddish story, but the actual musical didn't come into being. I think the only things that
came out like the musicals in the 1900s, like the 1800s, were like the Pirates of Penzance and that stuff.
Okay, I don't think I ever saw Pirates of Penzance.
Well, those were like the original musicals. Kevin tired. Kevin really tired.
Hey, shut up. I chase after a toddler all day.
Apparently you've never heard of chloroform.
Apparently you've never heard. They're exhausting.
That's what he says. Apparently you've never heard of CPS. That would have been a funnier response.
Yeah. ACS.
That's what it's called now?
It's always been called.
It's Child Protective Services.
No, it's the... not associate. I forget exactly what it stands for, but something of child services.
Have they called you yet?
Sort of. I don't know if I guess I didn't tell you this story.
No.
They called me about his daycare. And they just asked me a couple of basic questions about whether I was happy with his teachers and whether I was happy with, with the daycare in general. And then afterwards they said, okay, yeah, this was just a standard survey call. We do these every so often. There's nothing for you to be concerned about. No, actually, no. What they just said was, oh, no, this is just a standard call. And then they just asked me, like, do you have any other concerns? I said, well, you guys are calling me. Should I have concerns?
Did they laugh?
That's when they said, no, this is just a routine thing. There's nothing, there's nothing that you need to be concerned about. So I said, all right.
Did you Google it then?
I think I did look something up about it.
They're probably just trying to, maybe it's an accreditation thing.
Maybe. I don't know.
The only thing I was thinking is maybe someone reported something. That's why.
Yeah, that was sort of my thinking.
Well, I've been summoned to jury duty.
Fun. Yeah. We had a discussion about this not long ago when you first got summoned, and I will reiterate again. You're gonna have to go. You're probably gonna have to go in. Well, let's assume your number gets called. Mm-hmm. If your number gets called, you have to go in. You lose. That day is lost.
Yeah.
There's
at least
no
I get
way
paid
around
for
that
it.
one. But you'll get paid for it. Once you go in, if they do put you through jury selection, the biggest key is finding a way, however it may be, to show the lawyers that you are an independent thinker and you won't be swayed. Mm-hmm. You will figure that you're not, or you won't be talked into anything. You will figure stuff out for yourself, and they won't want you on their jury.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. It's like they don't want smart people.
Yeah, essentially, they don't want people who will think for themselves. They want people who they can convince.
Yeah, and I'm not one easily swayed.
Yeah, but you have to be able to demonstrate that to them.
Yeah,
that's how I got of Supreme Court jury duty, which I was really worried about because first off, anything that goes all the way up to the Supreme Court, you're probably dealing with some halfway decent lawyers because they actually managed to argue this case back and forth to get to that point.
And secondly, it could take a long time.
Huh?
And secondly, it could take a long time.
Yeah, that too. So I was where I thought for sure it was gonna be my luck that I was gonna end up on some case, and the way that Supreme Court jury duty in New York works is it doesn't work like everything else where you have to call in and find out if you have to go in. It's just they give you a day and that's it. You report, period. So I had to go in, and then they made us watch some stupid video about jury duty, and then they just had a bowl with everybody's juror card in it. Mm-hmm. And they just picked out names. And they said, okay, and then when they were done picking out all those names, they said, okay, you people go this way, you're going to criminal court.
Yeah, you could sit there all day and not be called into a jury.
So then they said, okay, the rest of you, you're all here, you're all in a jury pool for civil court. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, civil court. And then my name got called in the
civil
first group.
Civil cases are usually shorter than criminal.
Yeah, well, my name got called in the first group for a civil case, and basically everything the lawyers asked was intentionally vague about the case because there just wasn't a lot of information that they were allowed to disclose.
Yeah.
So for every question they asked, my answer was basically, honestly, I don't know because I don't know enough about the case to tell you where I would fall on this. Mm-hmm. Whether, what my opinion would be, whether or not I could be impartial, because on the one end, almost every time I managed to pick things out where, on the one hand, I've experienced this, which might make me fall on this side, but on the other hand, I've experienced this, which might make me fall on the other side. I could go either way. And the fact that I kept telling them that, and the lawyer that asked us the majority of questions that we were asked kept responding to me with, "Thank you for your candor, Mr. Kane," mm-hmm. Which I'm sure means he did not like me.
I'm kind of hoping I'll get on something that I could go to the judge and have a conflict of interest on.
Yeah, you could try that. Well, but let me put it this way.
Here's an example. Okay, I'm being sued by my mail carrier right now for a personal injury claim.
Yeah.
If I get in a personal injury case, I'm like, I'm going to go judge. I'm currently under this. I don't feel I should.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is when you're sitting there telling the judge, "Oh, I have this and I have this, so you need to disqualify me," they're gonna they may think that you're bullshitting them.
Oh no, I was going to bring the case with me. All the information.
Yeah, if you have some documentation that can help.
Yeah.
But like my mom was called in for jury duty, and this was years ago. And the way she tells the story is one of the lawyers was just an asshole. Mm-hmm. And first off, everything that they everything that they asked her, she kept saying, well, kind of like what I did. Like, well, I don't really know, because what if this or what if that? Mm-hmm. Again, the idea was showing that she was an independent thinker. And it was at the point where this one lawyer who was really a prick would come up to her and go, and what do you think, Mrs. Kane? Like, he clearly did not like her, but he wouldn't dismiss her. And then it turned out that, like, one of the witnesses in the case was a doctor that my mother knew, or like something and she told them, like, no, I know this guy. Mm-hmm. And they still wouldn't disqualify her. They intentionally kept her there, like, all day.
Oh, she was furious.
And ran her through the ringer. And, I mean, part of it, I think, was that lawyer was just being a prick. Because he didn't like the way that she was answering his nonsense questions. Because they are nonsensical questions. They're asking you if you can be impartial about something that's so vague that you don't know. Yeah. So... And then after I found out that I was not being picked for that particular jury, they told us that we could go to lunch. And as I was walking out, I was like, I'm glad I didn't get picked. This woman who was behind me goes, I knew you weren't getting picked for that jury.
Did she get picked?
No.
And you had to come back and...
We had to come back after lunch, but then we just sat there for a while. And at one point, the foreman, or whatever you want to call him, the guard or whatever he was, said, we may have some good news for you in a little bit. And then we sat and waited a little bit longer, and then eventually he came on, and because it was a Thursday, I think, and it was right before a
holiday.
Yeah, it may have been it may have been the next day. May have been Good Friday, but I don't think so. No, it may have been Good Friday because it was in April, and they came back and they said, yeah, they don't want to call any jurors for any more cases. So the rest of you, your jury service is done, and we're not bringing anybody back tomorrow because it's Good Friday. So you guys are all finished. So then we got cleared, and I think I don't have to serve again.
3 years.
No, it's longer than that for Supreme Court.
8 years.
I think it's 8 years.
And
so I think 2020 is the next time I have to serve. I will have.
Well, I got a summons once when I lived on Long Island with my parents, and I wound up I would have had to have been called that Friday based on the way the numbers were going. And they didn't call any jurors. They said, you're no need to serve because it was the Friday before Memorial Day.
I got summoned for jury duty out in Long Island once, too. I got called in, and I got called in to criminal court out in Riverhead.
Ugh. I would have had to go to Islip.
So I went in, and we sat in this room. And they kept calling, like, all these groups of numbers, but that didn't include mine. So I'm sitting there, and then they stopped calling people for a while, and then it was, like, right around lunchtime, and they said, okay, everybody who's still here, you were marked as the jury pool for this one particular case. The reason that you haven't been called up is because the lawyers have been trying to plea bargain all morning, and it looks like they've come to a plea bargain, so you are all dismissed. They said, and then, like, just come up, get your card stamped, and then you can get out of here. So, and then everybody clapped.
All right,
so I got lucky.
Since we Vinny Gambino'd this for a while, let's talk about movies.
Gambino or Gambini?
Whatever.
Dumbass.
Who's Gambino? Is that the crime family in Jersey?
No, they're not in Jersey. They're one of the New York families.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, movies. So I guess we're starting this week with...
Real quickly, just before movies, the Black Panther officially is the highest-grossing superhero movie of all time. It overcame the Avengers this week.
Yes, I read that just this afternoon.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, I have not. So?
It was good. I like Avengers better, personally.
Yeah, all right. Okay, back to movies. First up, we have Isle of Dogs, starring Edward Norton, Scarlett Johansson, and Bryan Cranston. Follows a young boy on an epic search for his lost canine companion in Japan.
I'm going to go fresh because it says it's a stop motion.
I'm going to go fresh, too, just on Edward Norton credit. Mm-hmm. He's kind of picky.
Midnight Sun, Bella Thorne, who's really hot, Patrick Schwarzenegger, who I guess looks like his dad and has his dad's acting chops.
Maybe.
And Tiara Scoveby.
Yeah, sure.
The film follows 17-year-old Katie Price, Bella Thorne, sheltered since...
Who is apparently really hot, pedophile.
She's like 24 in real life. Sheltered since childhood with a life-threatening sensitivity to sunlight, Katie's world opens up after dark when she ventures out to play her guitar for travelers. One night she meets Charlie, Patrick Schwarzenegger, whom she has secretly admired for years. She hides her condition from him, and the two embark on a unique, powerful romance. Rob Riggle plays Katie's loving and compassionate father, Jack, who endeavors to give his daughter a good life. Yeah, that's rotten.
Yeah, let's see. Teen genre? Yeah, rotten. Okay. Pacific Rim Uprising, starring John Boyega, Scott Eastwood, and Jing Tian.
What's it with famous people's sons this week?
I don't know. Anyway, John Boyega stars as the rebellious Jake Pentecost, a once promising Jaeger pilot whose legendary father gave his life to secure humanity's victory against the monstrous kaiju.
Kaiju.
Yeah, kaiju.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jake has since abandoned his training only to become caught up in a criminal underworld. But when an even more unstoppable threat is unleashed to tear through our cities and bring the world to its knees, he is given one last chance to live up to his father's legacy by his estranged sister, Mako Mori, Rinko Kikuchi. That just sounds wrong.
Racist.
Why is that racist?
She's Japanese.
Yeah, so just because she's Japanese doesn't change the meaning of the potential meaning of the term coochie.
Kikuchi.
Sure, kick coochie. That's horrible.
Move on.
Who is leading a brave new generation of pilots that have grown up in the shadow of war. As they seek justice for the fallen, their only hope is to unite together in a global uprising against the forces of extinction. Jake is joined by gifted rival pilot Lambert.
I think it's Lambert.
I don't care. Scott Eastwood and 15-year-old Jaeger hacker Amara Kaylee Spaney. As the heroes of the PPDC become the only family he has left, rising up to become the most powerful defense force to ever walk the earth, they will set course for a spectacular all-new adventure on a towering scale.
So I liked the first one of these.
I don't know.
John Boyega's a pretty good actor. You know who he is, right?
Yes, he's Finn.
He's actually British.
Yes, I know.
I don't understand why they hid his accent.
I don't know.
You saw my Facebook post about that.
Yes.
But it doesn't make sense. It's not like Star Wars hasn't had British people in it. Did they not want both new people to have British accents?
Maybe not. I don't know.
All right. So I'm going to go Rodden.
Maybe they just thought all black people should sound American. I have no idea.
I'm going Rodden because Guillermo del Toro is not directing this movie.
I'm going to go rotten just on the sequel lack of credit.
All right.
Okay. Sherlock Gnomes.
It's my one, fucker.
Fine, you read it.
Fine. Sherlock Gnomes.
A.K.A. Gnomes.
Johnny Depp, James McAvoy, Emily Blunt. First introduced in the film Romeo and Juliet, the adorable title characters and their garden ornament friends have a new adventure featuring the legendary Sherlock Gnomes. In the heart of London, gnomes are disappearing from the garden. Romeo, James McAvoy, and Juliet, Emily Blunt, join forces with the great Sherlock Gnomes, Johnny Depp, and Watson, who apparently isn't played by anybody, to discover what is behind the mystery. Johnny Depp as Sherlock Holmes as a gnome actually sounds kind of funny.
Could be.
I'm going to go Rodden, though.
Yeah, I'll go rotten on it, too. All right. Unsane.
In the Membrane.
Shut up. Starring Claire Foy, Juno Temple, and Joshua Leonard. A young woman is involuntarily committed to a mental institution where she is confronted by her greatest fear. But is it real, or is it a product of her delusion?
Rodden.
I'll go fresh on this one. I don't know why, just because.
Beauty and the Doge. And the dogs. Mariam Al-Farjani, Ghanem Zereli, Numan Amda. When Mariam, a young Tunisian woman, is raped by police officers after leaving a party, she's propelled into a harrowing night in which she must fight for her rights. To party! Sorry.
Stop.
Even though justice lies on the side of her tormentors. Foreign film cred?
Then. Yeah, foreign film cred. All right. Final Portrait, starring Jeffrey Rush, Armie Hammer, and Clemens Posey, centers on the friendship between American writer and art lover James Lord, Armie Hammer, and Alberto Giacometti, Jeffrey Rush. And that's all they got.
I'm going to go with fresh based on the cast.
Yes, I'm inclined to agree on that one.
Game Over, Man, Adam Devine, Anders Holm, Blake Anderson. During a star-studded LA party, 3 zeros become heroes, sort of, when the hotel they work at is taken hostage by bad guys. This is a Netflix release, and it looks hysterical. I don't think it's going to be a good review, though, so I'm going to go rotten, but I really want to see it.
I'm going to go rotten as well. Just because it sounds stupid.
It's kind of like Die Hard, but...
It might be funny, but it sounds stupid.
Oh, it's going to be hysterical.
All right. Getting Grace.
Getting Grace with Kids is Here.
Starring Daniel Roebuck, Jeff Lewis, and Madeline Dundon. Grace, a teenage girl dying of cancer, crashes a funeral home to find out what will happen to her after she dies.
I have to pick better movies to make fun of.
But ends up teaching the awkward funeral director, Bill Jankowski, how to celebrate life.
I think I'm going to cry. I don't think it's going to be good, but I can't, in my gut, give it a rotten. I'm going fresh.
Yeah, I'll go fresh on it. Why not?
I Killed Giants, Madison Wolfe, Zoe Saldana, Imogen Poots. Barbara Thorson, Madison Wolfe, is a teenage girl who escapes the reality of school and a troubled family life by retreating into her magical world of fighting evil giants. With help of her new friend Sophia, Sydney Wade, and her school counselor, Zoe Saldana, Barbara learns to face her fears and battle the giants that threaten her world. Rotten.
Yeah. All right. Paul, Apostle of Christ, starring Jim Caviezel, Joanne Whaley.
Jesus again?
I don't know. And Olivier Martinez. In Paul, Apostle of Christ, Luke risks his life to visit Paul, who is held captive in a Roman prison under Nero's rule. Together, they struggle against a determined emperor and the frailties of the human spirit in order to live out the gospel of Jesus Christ and spread their message to the world.
Yeah, Rodden.
Yeah.
The Redeemed and the Dominant. Hold on, I have to finish writing it.
Hurry up.
Sorry, it's a long title.
Wah.
Tia Claire Toomey, Matt Frazier, Cara Webb. Elite athletes take on a series of grueling tests to vie for the title of fittest on Earth. Follow the drama as they endure the unknown and unknowable during 4 of the most intense days of competition in CrossFit Games history. Documentary cred.
Yes. Okay, last. Ice Dragon, Legend of the Blue Daisies. Okay. Starring Rael Rees, Justin Dubé, and Bill Bray. Melody, a gifted young dreamer, and her feisty friend Leif must set aside their differences and use the power of magical blue daisies and an ancient song to save their world from an evil ice dragon. When the blue flowers that once bloomed all around her village begin to disappear, Melody and her eccentric grandfather recognize this as a sign of great danger, but no one believes them. Racing against time, Melody must convince Leif and the other villagers before it's too late. Great songs and engaging characters highlight this inspiring animated adventure for the whole family. And yet it's a one-day only release.
Oh, it's a Fathom event, maybe?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to go rotten on that.
I'm going to go fresh just to disagree with you. Because I don't like...
Fine. Do that.
Fine. Okay, to Flickster.
Do.
Yeah, since I haven't done it on mobile, maybe they fixed their...
Hurry up.
Dude, look how long it takes. Your Wi-Fi sucks.
My Wi-Fi is perfectly fine. I've done multiple speed tests on it. My Wi-Fi is awesome.
Yeah,
your phone sucks.
Phone's better than yours.
That's what you think.
Seriously, what's going on today?
Damn it, hurry up.
You hurry up.
You hurry
Well,
up.
I can't open it up beforehand because then I would know.
Yeah.
You say that I'm true.
Let's go, slacker.
You try bringing it up. Go to RottenTomatoes.com.
I'm not going to download apps.
What?
I'm in no position to download apps.
I blame Obama.
Right.
RottenTomatoes.com. Maybe that'll be faster. Okay, Pacific Rim Unrising. Rotten. Woohoo. Sherlock Gnomes, 19%. Unsane is fresh. Kevin gets the square.
Woohoo!
Midnight Sun, rotten. Isle of Dogs, fresh. We got that one. Paul, Apostle of Christ, rotten. Is it bad that I'm excited that a Jesus movie was rotten?
Yeah, you're just going to go to hell.
And you'll be right there next to me.
Maybe.
I Kill Giants, fresh. We went wrong with that one. Final Portrait and have Getting Grace. Not reviewed.
Boo earns.
I'm just going through the list. Beauty and the Dogs, fresh. Oh, we got that one right. I think that's it. Okay, now to the search. Oh, I got game over, man.
Man, how long does it take to search for that?
Oh, there it goes. Well, first I type game, then I type game over. Ooh. Okay, there's no consensus yet. It says 0%.
Okay.
Yeah, but it says no critic consensus yet. I don't see any reviews. Oh, yeah, they're all bad. All critics, 9 bad. It's got 0%.
Woohoo!
Is it bad that I really still want to see it?
Yeah, you like lots of stupid movies.
So do you.
I never said otherwise.
I mean, we've based our entire relationship on the movie Wayne's World.
And here I thought it was Clue and Spaceballs.
Mm-hmm. The Redeemed and the Dominant. No reviews. Ice Dragon. Come on, you piece of shit.
Hurry up.
You hurry up.
You hurry up.
Legend. There we go. Ice Dragon. Legend of Blue Days. There's no reviews. Right.
Oh, darn.
So the movies are done with that. So, in the words of the immortal John Lennon, we'll leave you with this. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
Listen to our podcast?
On the day of the march, I felt it was good to use the words of someone who was killed by a gun.
Okay, then.
All right. And tweet us at CitizenHoPod, Facebook.com/CitizenHo, Instagram us at CitizenHoPod, email us, dumbass@CitizenHo.com. Like us, review us, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, download, share, complain. We want to hear from you. We'll read you. We may berate you, but we'll still read it.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. So
it'll be fun.
I'm Scott.
I'm Kevin.
Be excellent to each other.
Bye-bye.
Station!